Keep it pyro.
So we are live right now with the esteemed guest of the week. We got man like Flowdan in the building. What's going on, sir? How you doing?
Man like. Wagwan.
We're live on air, man. How you doing? How's your week been, man?
Yeah, it's been. I think this would be a highlight. It's been chilled week for me.
Oh, thanks a lot, man. That means a lot.
I ain't done much though, so it's easy to be a highlight.
Okay. It's like a par, but not a par, but a compliment at the same time.
Yeah. 50-50 with that one.
Yeah, obviously, last time we spoke, it was maybe a couple weeks ago that you were meant to come on. Then you had a show out in Russia.
Oh, see.
How was that, bruv?
Show in Russia was actually mad because I've been there a few times, like Moscow, but this was actually a festival still.
Okay.
And it was in the daytime, and it wasn't snowing. Enough people. And it was a better experience than the last 2 times I've been there still.
Yeah? Whereabouts? So you're in Moscow, and was it in the field, like an English style festival? Was it a city centre type thing?
City centre thing, like imagine, I don't know, Trafalgar Square.
Okay.
Like that type of thing, like just in the middle of the city. There's cars and stuff going past, but they just set up a festival there quickly. And I've done my thing with the bug still and misread.
All right. What kind of crowd was there? How many people in the crowd there, roughly? What are we talking? 1,000?
No, I think about 3,000.
Oh, wow,
realistic.
okay.
I did ask, and they said, yeah, between 3,000 and 4,000. I said, all right, safe.
You enjoyed the experience then?
Mad.
Yeah. You try any local vodka?
No, I don't drink still.
You don't drink? Okay, all right.
Still, but didn't try no local vodka. I didn't smoke no local weed either.
Okay, that could be a good thing because you don't want to get busted out in the Russian jail or something like that, man. That can't be a good look.
I usually find my way around the situation. But, didn't chance it.
All right, man. Well, look, as I say, it's good to have you on here, man. You know, it's an honor because I know that you've been doing your thing longer than like 99.9% of other grime MCs. So it's good to see, like I say, winner stays on. That's my tagline for artists that are still in the game, going strong. Winner stays on, man.
It's one of Wiley's old taglines as well, still. So that's how it go. Winning. I don't know if it's winning, but it's continuing.
That's what I mean by winner stays on, in the sense of, like, you know, old school video games back in the day. Like,
I know that.
If you win the thing, then you stay on. Standard. So it's more like, you've been winning in the grime game, but also winner stays on. So
definitely.
Definitely. So you are a founding member of the Roll Deep Collective.
One of the founding members.
Yeah. So how many people were in it when you first founded the crew? Was there a lot of them? Was there like was it a smaller?
It was about 5.
Okay, the 5 original members.
Do
you remember how many were then there at then?
How much it ended up?
No. Who were the core 5 members when it first started out?
Wiley, Karnage, Breeze.
Okay.
Jet Li.
Yeah.
Pitbull. Scratchy.
Scene.
That's 6, yeah?
That's
7. Yeah.
And
7,
you were in Pay As You Go before that, am I right?
As well, yeah.
You were in Pay As You Go before that?
Yeah. That was like more simple. That was 6 MCs, 3 DJs.
See, okay, all right. So the game done changed. I don't know if you remember, man. I interviewed you 4 years ago in Roll Deep, and that was in Brick Lane when your No Comment Star mixtape came out.
Yeah, what, in that mix place?
Yeah, it was it was like a branded store. Just off Brick, it was for like Levi's or G-Shock. That was it. It was
Say
a
no
G-Shock thing.
I remember that.
Yeah.
How did that interview go? Because we was a bit mad, you know. I don't know if that interview
It was jokes, bro. I like that kind of.
It was jokes.
Yeah, it was
not a good interview.
Look, I mean, you guys can check. It was jokes in the sense that I had jokes doing it, and it was jokes watching it, and it was good vibes, man. You know, it's always a pleasure to chat to you guys, man. Obviously, you're kind of foundation of the grime scene, man, and only now, I say only now, right now, the grime scene is really blowing up. People outside of grime are starting to really clock on to what's been happening. Partly because of Skeppy, partly because of Dizzy, partly because of everyone else doing shit. Well. You get me? So it's good to see it, and there's a lot of chat that's been for sure, man, and it's outlasted a lot of other genres such as dubstep. I see dubstep has kind of dwindled away slightly from the mainstream. Back in 09, 010 kind of time, it was all about that sound.
Yeah,
and now it's 2016, and grime is still murking, which is good to see. And dubstep is kind of taking a bit of a backseat.
Dubstep has to sit down a little bit because at the same time, it needed to go back for them because their thing started to get a bit watered down and a bit too like infiltrated by people that don't even know what dubstep is. So it was smart for them to just take a step back and going back to their roots and make the good music that they was doing.
Of course, man.
Started.
Okay, so it's taking a more organic sound.
Yeah, because it's not finished.
Right.
Trust me.
No, I don't think it's finished, but it's not as frontline as it used to be. Yeah, you agree on that level, definitely, man. So how did you link up with True Thoughts? Because obviously that's a label that doesn't necessarily specialize in grime music in any way whatsoever. They specialize in, maybe you could say, black music, soul music, jazz music, you could say. So what caused them, or what led you to their direction?
The owner of the label, Rob Louis, one of the owners anyway, like he saw my manager out somewhere, I don't know where they was, and he was just like, yeah, I'm interested in what Flowdan's doing right now, what's he got, like, want to hear some music. Sent him about 15 tracks and he was very happy. He was like, yeah, what is this, an album? I was like, nah, it's not really finished, but hold tight, I'll deliver something in a few months. And that's what I've done. So we striked a deal, and here we are now. And
are you happy with how the whole project has turned out?
Definitely from my point of view and from the label's point of view, also happy.
That's good to see, man. That's good to see. Obviously, doing the research for today's show, I had to do my research, and I was reading some of the reviews, and I weren't really like convinced that they knew your legacy as well as other people knew their legacy. And I was wondering, as an artist, as like a veteran in the UK scene, do you read reviews? Do you go on the websites and magazines and stuff? Do you take any, like, do you actually give them any attention?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. I read them all.
Okay. And what's your perception of what you've read? Do you think they're accurate? Do you think they're kind of...
From their perspective, I reckon they're accurate because they can only speak about what they know. And I'm as you said, I'm like a foundation artist. I've been there for like 15 years or something like that. So a lot of them might have been in school when I started doing this. So yeah, I don't really take it that personal either, even if they're way off. I don't really mind because, again, it's up to them what they see, hear and write.
It's their perception, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Because obviously there was that controversy recently with Gigs and NME magazine and them completely mishearing one of the lyrics.
Mishearing. That's a whole. That's a next type of mistake, though. That's more like
accidental.
Yeah, it's accidental or whatever that was. But when you're like summing up someone's album and you're like talking about their history and you're getting that totally wrong, that's not really a simple mistake. That's actually you drawing your own self out there, brother.
Yeah, they put their foot in there, man. Definitely. Obviously there was a big Twitter debate going on recently about grime music and is it black music or is it council estate music. Logan Sama was saying it's council estate music. Someone else is saying that white people are stealing the music and profiting it from it and stuff. What's your perspective on that whole fiasco, man?
I'm not really that political, you know, but I can say the council estate point sounds like a true point. But one thing I can say is that usually I find that depends on what part of the country you're from, but the ethnic and council estate usually goes together. So like that's the what's the word?
Demographic.
No, not even demographic. I'm saying like that's the relation I see.
Okay.
Like when I look around, obviously if you're from England, you're going to be around mostly white people. But when you're from the council estate, that's when you're going to mix with the ethnics and do you get what I mean? So the type of culture that we're talking about in grime is definitely council estate. So when someone says, no, but it's our thing because we're blah, 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 I see their point, but I think it's more of a broader thing than just colour still.
Definitely, I agree, man. I agree for sure, man.
And I had a long conversation with Logan about this, and he did say, when you're talking about rapping or spitting, that's black. Because that's like it originated from way back, blah blah blah. He was even
Jamaica.
He was mentioning some African people that I've never really heard of, but he does his research and when he talks, he's talking facts. So cool. When you're talking about rapping and chatting on the microphone and blah blah blah, that's black. But the production side of it is helped and mixed, and there's loads of different people that I've had input that ain't black.
Right. Okay, so like I said, you on that subject matter, we're talking about Pay As You Go came before Roll Deep, and you were spitting as a grime artist before grime existed as a genre. Would you say that's accurate? I mean, you were spitting before grime existed.
Yeah, I was spitting,
but it weren't necessarily grime.
No. I used to spit on drum and bass. Was about it. So when Wiley formulated a new sound, and came back to bass and said, right, this is the new thing. I was like, yes, this sounds more like what I imagined I was doing, because what we're doing now is someone else's thing.
Right.
And it's all right, but I'm not that good at it. And I think that if we had something more original, you can't really judge us by anything else now. So then we can create our own opportunities like that.
I feel you.
So that sounds more fun.
So who influenced you as an artist? Because obviously we're talking about the origins of spitting, of MCing, and I'm not saying who was your influences growing up, but who influenced you to be who you are as Flowdan, the MC? And I don't like those influence questions, it's about, I'm talking from, you were there before Grime existed, so yeah, that's what I mean.
For me, the UK MCs are very influential, which is after the reggae artists from, I don't know, Budja Banton, Bounty Killer, Beanie Man.
Okay, so they played a part?
Definitely, like the 90s dancehall, definitely, but more moving forward. Also in the 90s, the drum and bass dons like MC Det, Shabba.
Okay, so DMB definitely played a big influence.
Because they gave me a format of like still doing it like reggae, but still in an English way, in a British format. So that sounds interesting.
I think that's why people love Grime, because it's got that mix of the two.
Yeah, mix of more as well. But yeah, so definitely them man there from drum and bass. They like, I used to copy them. So that gave me my format on how I wanted to try and do things. And then the Flowdan style just evolved from around 2000 when Wiley made some new instrumentals that needed a whole new take.
Okay, so you kind of recreated a sound, not even recreated, created a sound from there. So for that, I'll give you a spud, because a lot of people have taken that and done their own thing.
Yeah.
Sick,
Have it.
Okay, so I want to spin a track from your album, Gunfingers, Tinchy Strider. I love that track. Why did you pick Tinchy as one of the only Grime MCs on the album? One of the only Grime MCs on the album?
Because of the vibes of the tune. I just needed Gunfingers on that tune, and he's the person that really made that lyric and that bar famous in the first place. So I just tried to be authentic with the feature.
Keep it pyro.
Yeah, we're live on air, PyroRadio right now. It's myself, Nick Blatantly Blunt, and I am in the presence of greatness right now. Goes by the name of Flowdan on his smartwatch, flicking through. Is it the Twitter? Is it the Facebook? Is it the email?
I'm silencing it, you know.
Okay, that's a good look. Because I've had a lot of interviews where guys have their phone ringing halfway through and stuff. But that's all good, man. I respect that. Professionalism, bro. Professionalism.
Even though it's a bit late, because it could have done that earlier. But yeah.
No long talk. It's all good, man. Sick. So, producers-wise on this album, I know that you've got a variety on there.
Definitely.
Some recent dons that are killing it.
And some people
Swifter.
Recent dons
Swifter
that are killing
is like, and I was surprised a lot of the reviewers showed they didn't really know their Grime music because they weren't mentioning Swifter, and if they did, they would have.
That's true. Like when people saying, I saw a particular review saying that they would have expected me to have more name brand producers on there. And for me, this was not really about working with name brand people. I've never been a person that really strategically makes my music like that anyway. Like, oh yeah, he's hot, let's work with him. Pause. So
but Swifter is killing it. He's been murking for the past few years.
But when I voiced that, he never done what he's done. Do you get what I mean? Like when I first recorded that song, he never done Man Don't Care. He never done all the murking.
So it's from a while back?
Yeah. This was like, I'm voicing a Swifter beat like, nah, this is a new hot producer that I've heard a few rhythm from, but he ain't done all these, like the Kano track and all that. He never done all that yet. Maybe that was in the works also. Okay. But I just liked that beat, and I said, yeah, I'm using this. I wasn't even working on an album yet. I just voiced that because I'm continuously always voicing. But yeah, when people are talking about working with big name producers, that's always good, but at the same time I feel that it's about the talent, and and sometimes there's people that ain't heard of that just need an opportunity and are sick. So it's not even like I'm trying to share opportunities. I'm just thinking, right, that's a sick beat that works for me, let's go. Simple as that.
I think that's a good approach to take, definitely, man. I like the artwork as well. Very atmospheric, very London, very like Armageddon type vibe as well. It's like end of the world. There you go. Yeah, I think that term's overused, but it's true. It is post-apocalyptic. I like Armageddon because it's like you know what I mean. The world is coming to an end, and you're just watching everything happening.
Yeah, ready for it. Still.
You get me? Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
That's how I feel about most stuff, anyway.
And did you have an input in that artwork? Because I see it looked like there was a lot of attention that had been paid to that.
100% input. Try know that the input was 100%. me saying, right, I want this, I want that, to the point where I'm asking for things that people saying they can do, meaning artwork dons, and they're sending back the artwork, and I'm saying, yeah, it's all right, but then management saying, nah, that's shit. Sorry, swearing. Rubbish.
It's all good.
So yeah, we did change artwork done a few times, and then ended up working with a very expensive person that does TV work.
Okay.
And he made it work still. But the photography was done by a separate photographer that done her thing also.
Okay, so you got a hand in the creative input and output of the art. Was it Trellick Tower? Is that where it's in front of?
Who?
Trellick Tower. I think that's the block of flats.
Where do you think that is? Trellick Tower?
Trellick Tower in Hackney or something, right?
No, this is Balfour Towers in E14 Poplar, Chris Street, mate.
Is that where you're from then?
Bow and E14. So E3 and E14 is my two postcodes. So grew up in them two.
I see them as the two homes of grime, really, within London. You got E14 and Bow, obviously.
Well, it's mad because Wiley lived Roman Road and he lived Chris Street. So that's E14 and E3. So yeah, definitely. The two postcodes that started grime.
Is that where you came out? Is that where you knew Wiley from those ends back, like growing up together and stuff?
Yeah, grew up in the same area, Bow, Poplar. But away from that, Wiley's always been a person that's kind of been influential musically, even before all this was going on, because he was like a sick drum and bass MC, and he was making beats also from them days in the like 97, 98.
Yeah.
So he was always someone that was on music when the man then was on chilling and doing other stuff.
Sick, man. Something else I wanted to ask you about is that on your album you've got a track called Testing, and that's one of those tracks where if you listen to the lyrics you're going to pick up a lot of things about Flowdan that are very interesting and very outside of the grime typical content matter.
Okay.
And that's what I'm like, I'm glad I bought this album. I'm glad I'm getting some content and some value right here in the lyrics. And you're mentioning social media, and you're talking about a couple dons that are buying up followers and not getting any engagement on their followers. So they might be, and that's how you can clock when people are buying followers, because they might have 25,000 followers but no retweets or no likes and stuff.
No presence.
It's like they think we're idiots, bruv.
I don't know what that is, but I feel that's just due to the fact that a lot of people feel that them type of numbers there represent something, and in some cases they do. But for me, I've always focused on the talent and just focused on good tunes and sick vibes. So the amount of numbers you got is irrelevant to me, because if I hear what you're going on with and I don't like it, then it's a no-go, mate.
And what made you want to write that about that? Was that something you noticed over the years, that there's a lot of people that are just trying to fake their fame in a way?
It's always been that. Like, you fake it till you make it. Yeah. I feel like it's always been that. I ain't got a problem with how anyone's going about their career. I'm just thinking it's not just that. Like, you don't have to pretend you've got followers to do good music, or you don't have to pretend anything. You just need to do your thing and let the chips fall where they're gonna fall, bro.
And the rest of it will follow naturally, organically.
Yeah. If you focus on that, if you're focused on, I want to step out and have numbers, then buy some. I hear that. Buy the followers, and then you've got the followers, and then you're happy.
You ain't got the engagement though. That's the thing.
I know, but it depends on what you're coming in the game for. And some people just feel that, if I be seen to have all of this attention or sit like it looks like that, then someone's gonna believe I'm important. And some people, it works.
Sounds a bit feeble if you ask me, bro.
But it does work for some people, so I hear them.
It does work for some people, man. And that's a shame, innit? That's a shame. That's a damn shame.
Keep it pyro.
Wheel up that star. We are live on air. Trust me, I think that was the sickest ad-libs I've heard on a record in a while, man. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, definitely. I think it's the more you spit, man, the better you get at them. It's just like experience, man. Like, I've been running my blog for 8 years, and it's like it comes naturally, I guess. So with you spitting,
stop trying now.
You get me? So that's it.
Just relax while you work, mate.
Be yourself. That's it, man. Speaking of which, a lot of people that aren't even into grime know a song called Skeng. They might know you from Skeng. That's like one of them cross-generational songs, cross-genre songs. People that don't listen to dubstep and grime know this song. Yeah. Did you perform that in Russia recently?
Of course.
Of course.
The Bug produced that, so I was performing with him. So yeah, sick song, featuring Killer P. Didn't know it was gonna do what it was gonna do, but I'm sure a lot of people have that experience when they've got a big track or had a big track. They didn't know it was gonna be the one, but this particular tune didn't really put much effort into the creative process. I just basically freestyled So did Killer. And the people just said, nah, this is a banger.
It is. And yeah. I think it's one of those tunes where it's like organic and you're not trying to create a hit. It just comes across naturally, which is what I think the people like so much about it. And there was a number 2 that came out recently this year, right? There was like a follow-up song that came out.
Killer P done a next version of it, follow-up. I wasn't in the country at the time, so I didn't even get to be on that one still. But Skeng's always going to be an immortal song still.
Anthemic. So. Definitely. It's like Hard Newham Generals is one of those guys. It came out around the same time as well, right? Roughly the same kind of 08,
it might have been a bit
09,
before
07.
that, you know,
okay.
gang. It might have been like 06, 07, you know.
Oh, but, right, okay.
Yeah, because the last time I checked, they were saying that Skeng's like nearly 9 years old.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And it still ain't boring. That's how you know it's a live one. On your album, you got a very talented singer by the name of Animai.
Is it?
Yeah. And I'm informing you that because I know that you weren't quite sure of it, so I'm just making sure that you're aware of it.
Yeah, but you know
what it is, I'm talking to the audience, and it's like that narrative which I bring. But thanks for
Say no more, because the mad thing is that Animai is on the album and the album's mastered and out, so I definitely know that she's sick. Try no.
Definitely, man. But what my point was leading up to around that was that not many grime artists. You're not like many grime artists, but not many grime artists bring a singer on half the tracks on the album. So what is the impetus? Like, what is the kind of the catalyst or the thing that made you want to do that?
Needed some extra vibes. I needed a different tone, and just needed some different energy and different talent just to make my thing work differently. Pause, but I can't pause that. But yeah, I just wanted the energy to be different. I just wanted to be varied on the album still, because it's too boring, man.
It brings that extra layer of value.
Yeah, plus I've grown up listening to music that involves singers as well as sick rappers. So I tried to be the sick rapper and bring in the singer on the tune still.
And how did you guys connect?
How did we connect? On the music. Like,
yeah, as in like, no, not even that. Like, how, like, is it someone, is this a lady that you've known for a while?
My manager at the time knew you somewhere, and I had a track, and I was just like, yeah, I want a singer for this one, and she said, yeah, well, I know someone that's got sick vocals, hear her tunes, and I listened to some of them. I was like, okay, then this is different. Send Animai the instrumental, and what she sent back, I liked straight away. And then it gave me inspiration to do what I done. In fact, lies. I done what I done first, and I said I need a singer in these spaces.
Right.
And then Animai worked her magic and done it perfectly. I didn't send it back and say, no, can you change this or can you do more? It was perfect, and it went on the album.
I agree, man. I agree. And she doesn't come across as a typical R&G singer.
Yeah, I avoid that.
Yeah, that was a bit of a hit and miss kind of phase in grime music, and it kind of came and went. Like,
shouts to Terror Danger, man. Not mocking the thing, but yeah, like that wouldn't suit me. Like that whole girl boy vibe. Your bit's pink, my bit's blue. That doesn't really appeal to me. Still, like I'd like
too formulaic, would you say?
Yeah, a bit too bait, and like I never really been I've never drawn to that type of music or them type of formulas. My thing, it's just always got to be hard. Still,
definitely,
female or male.
Okay. Any tips for grime MCs that haven't quite reached the Flowdan level of quality yet?
Okay, don't do what I do. Do what you do, and just try to get what's the word? Inspired by your people around you.
Peers, yeah.
Like try to get the vibes off them. If they're not saying, nah, that tune's sick, then maybe work with the next one. But don't really wait for recognition from people that don't really know you or care about you. Try to take your music to your close team first and try it out on them. And once you can murk them, then the rest of the world's quite easy still.
Okay, so start small.
Yeah, because your friends ain't really trying to massage your ego. They're not trying to help you like that.
If anything, the opposite, innit? They're trying to be like, bruv, you're whack.
Yeah, like
some of them anyway.
Like most true friends will tell you, I don't like that, because they don't like that, and that's what you need. Not
because they're just okay. I'm with you. All right. Well, look. Before we get into your MC set, we're gonna play the lead single from the album, Horror Show Style, and I really think that is a strong lead single.
Thank you.
Is that a fair assumption? I think it's definitely got that. It's got that lead single sound to it. You know, that makes you like get up out your seat and like sit up and be like, what the, you know what I mean?
Different
this is
kind
sick.
of knocks to it's got a different type of knock to it. Shouts to Splurge Boys on that one.
Definitely.
Authentic on that one. I wanted to perform it later still, but I can't now because you're playing it.
Oh,
Say no
all right,
more.
you know what, bro?
Say nothing, man. Play that.
Yeah, all right, let's get into it. Horror show style. We got a live MC set coming up. I thought it had to be done just in case you weren't gonna do it. You know, I thought it had.
Always bring bars. Don't worry.
Sick, of
I've
course,
got different
man.
stuff.
PyroRadio.